r/AskReddit. Photographers of Reddit, what is the most outrageous photo shoot request you have received from an Instagram influencer? Professional here. This isn't really outrageous in terms of what they wanted to do in a photo, but I would say 90% of influencers who contact me try to use tagging as their form of payment. Well, I have 100k followers, so you're guaranteed to get so much work from this. You'd be an idiot to say no. This is word for word what one woman said to me when I politely informed her of my rates. Paying artists an exposure is nothing new, but the level of entitlement I'm seeing these days is off the charts. The only thing I can ever guarantee from these interactions is that they will throw a massive tantrum when I say no, complete with some classic r/Nasegurals lines like "your shit isn't even that good, I was trying to do you a favor," etc. One person contacted me saying that she gets paid X amount from companies per post, thus every post she makes using my photographs should count for X amount of dollars paid to me, because like so many PPL will see it, you will pretty much be famous. Edit to answer some of the common responses. Yes, I do my best to explain how the process actually works, that exposure isn't a form of payment, etc. This has varying degrees of success, but a lot of the time they end up paying my rates anyways, and say something like "never know if you don't ask right. Lol." No, I don't ever respond with sarcastic or snarky comments. You never know when someone will go off the rails and start bad-mouthing you on their platform. Screenshots are a thing, and word of mouth is a huge part of getting new clients. Yes, it would be immensely satisfying to lay into some of these people, but an out of context screenshot with some victim story behind it can be extremely damaging, so it's always better to err on the side of caution. I honestly appreciate all the suggestions for counter-offers and ways of dealing with these people. There are some seriously smart answers here. Bravo Reddit. I don't let anyone take advantage of me or my business, and managing client expectations is just part of the job. Cheers for all the awesome responses. This was a lot of fun. Not a photographer, but one of my acquaintances is a semi-popular influencer. She spends way too much time to see authentic and down to earth. One time at a small party I did something funny that made a bunch of people laugh. Whatever it was wasn't caught on camera, and she forced me to recreate the moment so that she could film it for her Instagram stories. You're not having fun unless you can prove it to your thousands of followers apparently. Do that spontaneous thing again. Do it. Everyone needs to know how much fun we are having. Influencer asked me to shoot, and before I even had the chance to give her my prices, she decided to give me hers. Over $300 for me to shoot with her for 30 minutes. One of her main selling points was she could teach me how to leverage and grow my social media. Girl was 15. Edit to clarify, she was asking me to pay her $300 plus when in reality at a minimum she should be paying me. I don't even charge that much, haha. Oofs. Talk about entitlement. I'm guessing she might have learned that from all the professional photographers that wanted to pay her to take modeling pictures. Influencers weren't what they are now back when this happened, but there was this flamboyant musician client I had that wanted to generate a buzz. I was pretty early in my career, so it didn't sound crazy at the time, but he hired me to follow him around a local outdoor shopping mall pretending to be paparazzi. It was actually kinda fun shouting fake interview questions at him while he ignored me. Lots of people fell for it and followed us around. Looking back on it, it was the dumbest gig I've ever had. Sounds funny and seems harmless honestly. Rumors have been swirling that you wear depends. Care to confirm? Reminds me of a 20-something who hired two burly guys to act as bodyguards for a day. Got all sorts of requests for autographs, skipped to the front of lines, entry into exclusive clubs, and so on. He just gave sly winks whenever anyone asked who he actually was. Honestly, this sounds like a blast and something I'd do for free. I was selling an old camera on eBay, maybe $50, and someone asked me to send it to him for free, so he could review it on his YouTube channel. I'm not the manufacturer of this second-hand camera, just an art student trying to make some money, so I don't know how he thought reviewing my old camera was of any benefit to me. And then it turned out he only had 10 subscribers, so I really don't know what he thought he was doing. You have 10 subscribers, but start your email off with "Hi, I'm name better known as channel name." Somehow have avoided this with my actual photography work, but I still laugh about eBay guy. 10 people follow his channel, but only 3 people know who he is, himself and his parents. So he wasn't wrong. I've noticed some younger people are absolutely obsessed with YouTubers, like they are modern day celebrities, and they have a pipe dream that it's 2009 and can launch a massive channel like that from the ground up in 2020. That's because it's one of the most common "what do you wanna be when you grow up" replies. They had a study done on it a few years ago, which might seem sad at first, but makes more sense when you realize a child is likely just looking at it like, wow, this is the ultimate personal freedom. Reality is often different for these channels and the person running them. Actually, most of the old YouTubers from around 2009 haven't lasted the test of time on the platform. And although it's still a super unstable job, except for those at the top, it's never been easier than today to get into it / give it a try. Been a wedding photographer for 12 years. I routinely get asked to do entire weddings for free. Not even always from Instagram influencers. One time this guy, whom I didn't even like that much, asked me to do a wedding for free for his friend. Someone I didn't even know existed at all until this interaction. I just imagine walking into a restaurant and asking for the absolute best meal they have for $0 and then telling them it will be good for their business to do so. DJ. Same thing. Our photographer was in our wedding party. We still paid for her services. She gave us a better rate than normal, but we didn't ask for it. That's her business and how she makes a living. The nerve of people to request free when they barely know you. We have hired a photographer to do portraits, and then I asked a friend who loves taking photos to shoot the dinner. I told him to tell us what feels like a fair price, and he just said that he would do it for free. That is his decision, and we are obviously giving him something, at least taking him out to dinner or something. A bald guy asked me to Photoshop veins in his head to make his head look like a giant penis. He was some kind of businessman who was selling an audiobook. Dickhead move. Did you do it? I don't need sleep. I need answers. He's got a real pea brain. This February, Rob's Knider is a penis. Beet poop. Some influencer that was promoting betanin in beets as healthy diet. She want me to take images of the color change poop. That this is actually normal in those that can't process the betanin. That week, my DSLR was dropped hard, and now I'm without it. It was a bad week. The strangest thing to me about this is not the fact that she wanted pictures of the poop, but that she wanted someone else to take the pictures. Yuck. Also, sorry about your DSLR. I didn't know I liked beets until a few years ago, so up until then I had never really had beets before. Imagine my surprise when I had my 2-beat morning movement. I was pretty sure that I had developed both a UTI and late-stage colon cancer overnight. I freaked out for a bit until I put it together, but oddly, I had no desire to immortalize this moment via social media. I had a client ask me to Photoshop his head onto another guy's body because he liked the shirt the other guy was wearing more than his own. I actually did it because it was hilarious and he paid me for it. Artists gotta eat too. This is hilarious. Do you have any other Photoshop stories? This gives me an idea. I wonder if I could pick an influencer and just Photoshop my face onto every single thing they post and post it too. Had a girl contact me to do a suicide girls photo shoot. I gave her my rates and she got back with, "Oh, I don't have that much. Isn't it enough That you'd see my tits. Depends on the tits, I guess. As a photo assistant in Chicago, I had a friend tell me there was a popular New York photographer looking for an assistant on Instagram for a shoot in Chicago. I inquired with the gentleman, and he said he only had a day rate of $150. On top of that, he said the day would be a 14-hour day, and he asked me to pick up his equipment rental, which included a 12-foot sweep, and store it at my place, to be ready for the shoot the next day. Hell, number $150 for 17 hours worth of work. IDC which photographer you are, pay your assistants correctly. $150 for 17 hours. Bet that's an older guy who used to get $150/day assisting 25 years ago, like me. I have a long gray/white beard which naturally prompts a lot of jokes about looking like Santa Claus. We spent Christmas in Punta Cana this year, and I have this old Hawaiian shirt with reindeer and Christmas shit on it. So the afternoon of Christmas Day I went walking down the beach in my Christmas shirt, and was instantly surrounded by all these girls in bikinis wanting to take a selfie with Santa Claus. I was game. Seemed like it was all in good fun, and if a bunch of giggling girls want to sit on my lap and take a picture, who am I to complain? But it got obnoxious really quickly. Each one of them wanted 20 shots from different angles, in different poses, with different backgrounds and different light angles. I couldn't figure out what was going on until one of them mentioned how popular this was going to be on Instagram, that she found out what Santa does to rest after Christmas Eve. After that it was just kind of irritating, so I refused to do any more photos, unless a child asked, which just pissed the Instagram crowd off, which naturally made it even more irritating. I ended up avoiding the beach and pool area for the rest of the week. I can see how irritating that would be. It seems a little dehumanizing. A few years back I was in Acadia National Park and we did the Beehive Trail hike. For those unfamiliar, it's basically as close to rock climbing as you can get non-harnessed, as you are going straight up a cliff on iron rungs and stuff. So super fun, and you are rewarded with an amazing view at the top. Most people take a quick snap there at the lip, as most do at the peak of their hike, and then move on to the more rocky area, but less a nice view, to rest. Anyway, while we were there resting, 2 Instagram girls got to the top, and promptly took over the best view of the lip, to take various yoga poses. Because that was totally a natural thing to do after scrambling up a cliff. For at least 10 minutes families were coming up asking if they could take a picture, but they literally said we were here first, and we'll be here a while when asked if they were almost done. We ended up leaving before they were done, but it still boils my blood thinking about it. I would just photobomb all their pictures until they left. I can't stand people like that. Someone asked me to shoot her entire wedding, a full day, an engagement photo shoot underwater. I do underwater photography also, and some honeymoon shots somewhere. All for exposure. I straight up said no, politely, and she kicked off in a patronizing way asking me if she knew who she was and what it would do for my career. She had about 10k less followers than I did, and I don't even do weddings, as I had pointed out. So it wasn't even in my best interest, even if she had millions of followers. Oh, and an influencer guy asked me to do a nude photo shoot for him for free. I declined but wished him luck. He then sent a dick pic. I reported him. The influencer with less influence than you, that's Rick. The dick pic made me chuckle, like what's the point of it? Once worked in a tech call center and a guy sent multiple shots of his naked body while holding a katana. You've reached the end. You're a star. Destroy the subscribe button for more like that.